And for Group B, going FACEIT TV for the Road to
Suave.
Quakecon tournament. The swag
That's
is
right.
out.
Damn right it is. Guys, in chat, if you see any CS fans here, they might be regulars here to all the CS content you guys
Don't tell
do.
them to sod off.
Yeah, come on, Quakers, we're better than that. Be nice, be supportive. Anyone who's got any curiosity, let's show them how welcoming and warm-hearted we are as an esports community.
Well, try at least.
Oh my god, we're starting already. Fazz versus Tox. I honestly don't even know which game was starting first, and the fact we're getting a game right now between these two Swedes, this is pretty hype right now. I have not seen Tox dueling in ages. I've seen his stream, Fazz streams as well, but I usually see them immersed in some kind of team game environment. But Elder, to begin with these two. We'll see if Tox is able to pull out the 60% LG as per usual.
Yeah, Fazz is a very smart player, and usually where he would fall down in a matchup like this is just the aim duels. Like Toxic will take fights, he'll be very, very efficient, he'll play very defensively, and it can be hard to get in once he gets an advantage and a lead. But we'll see now whether or not Fazz can make the lead happen for him. Toxic's looking quite good. He's going to come into the attack onto the second red armor, and so far all he can do is a little bit pressure, and Fazz will steal it away. So very passive opening from both players.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about Fazz having very good aim at the moment, so I hope he's going to be able to showcase some of that in these duels. But it's awfully hard to make your aim look good when you're going up against a player of the caliber of Tox. They're going to move in there. The LG just drilling away. Fazz suffering this time. He's not really able to show off that aim at all, and that is going to be the first frag for Toxic. And he's got a good bit of control to go with afterwards as well. That LG is just devastating. Let's see what did he got to in the end? 45% we're seeing. My oh my.
Yeah, it's a very strong start there from Toxic, and starting off with the lead again is very, very detrimental to Fazz, as now Toxic can start playing more passively. He can get the pressure up here and there, but he's going to force Fazz to some awkward engagements, and that's something that he's very good at doing. Now, Fazz does have the key though, so Toxic unable to pick that one up, which is quite an interesting thing. That's going to be a nice advantage, and he's going to push Toxic away from the red armor initially. Toxic gets himself back into position for it, but he takes a lot of extra damage in doing so, and that could help out Fazz a little bit. But the Mega's not spawning too soon, so he's going to have to just wait here, and maybe Toxic is going to come and say hello, and there he is, up the stairs with the LG. The grenade's going to bounce him up. Oh no, that grenade ruined Fazz. It wrecked his chances.
That was sick. You don't really expect such aggressive moves over there. The players we're normally watching aren't doing that. Tox is going to be able to pick himself one more kill as well. Brilliantly played. And I don't know how many people have been watching Fazz dueling, but I've been speaking to some of his teammates as well, and they say that Fazz is an extremely chill player, but duel can make him rage sometimes. Yeah. And so I hope that Fazz is keeping it together, relaxing.
Yeah.
During these early phases of this best of 3.
His rage is very funny though, to witness, to behold. He is probably the biggest and most frequent streamer of all the players as well. So
of everyone, I'd say.
Always got the stream going, but he's going to get the pressure on the Toxic now. He's managed to whittle him down piece by piece until he's all but armorless almost. He's only got 20 armor remaining at the moment. And in goes the push onto the red armor, and Toxic lands the money rail. That's going to delay Fazz massively. But will it be long enough for Toxic to get a free mega here? It might be unlikely.
It took a while for Fazz to decide to go back towards that red. Tox giving that one up quite easily and just assuming that the red had been taken a while ago. Not sure if he heard it being taken though. So information might be unknown right now. LG, Tox missing the first rockets, looking for a rail at the end, but Fazz really getting on that dodge.
That's very important against Toxic. Sometimes there's nothing you can do against the strength of his aim. I mean, he was known as one of the best aimers of Quake all time period.
Yeah.
Basically. He's definitely backed that up time and time again. Now, he's been playing a lot recently, so it wouldn't surprise me if we're going to see close to the pinnacle of his form there.
Yeah, there used to be a bit of a argument between strengths and Tox, and at some events we've seen some hilarious clashes between the two of them. Almost like the sort of salty suite of Quake, essentially. Trying to work out who's got the best LG. But it's almost unanimous at this point that Tox has got it.
Yeah, he's just so sick. He uses the Iceman as well, but we're going to have a bit of an altercation here towards this red armor, and a couple nice shots landed very calmly, very smoothly by Toxic, which will keep himself out of trouble and actually make the pickup worth it in the end. So he's going to hold on to position as well towards the Mega Health. So he's looking very strong, and he should be able to pressure into more frags now for Fazz. This is a very dangerous point for Fazz.
Yeah, stack for Tox is just insane. I don't really know how Fazz is going to approach it. I think more rails like that, unreturned rails, that'll do some work.
5-minute warning.
But he's got to get over and make sure that if Tox is going to go for that red armor, he's going to pay for it. Spotting out the side. Tox just kind of running around, hoping maybe he could have baited Fazz in beforehand. Well, Fazz is wise to this.
Yeah, seeing if he can get something done with that red armor, but he's going to get railed. And Fazz himself, he's running out of rails. He has maybe 1 left, or maybe even 0 at this point. I think he's got no rail slugs remaining, so he'll have to pick up more slugs. Maybe even just pick up the railgun to replenish that. But that's going to give Toxic a lot of time. He's got the key as well. Faster timings through that door onto the aggression towards yellow and the rail area. So Toxic holding on to the lead very effectively. But if he's too passive, that can also cause problems. Having Fazz to get back into the game.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, the LG is for free, and Fazz goes down electrocuted. And that's it. Toxic 4, Fazz 0.
That was brutal there. Had Fazz turned around just a tiny bit, he would have seen Tox coming. He thought he was going to get away with that free red, but no sir. And Tox doesn't even seem bothered by the red that much at the moment. He's just hoping that Fazz is going to come in and try and look at damage for some point, and then he can be ready to return fire. But Fazz is playing even further away from the red than before, rightfully so.
Yeah, and he's a player you can't count out in a position like this. We can see that he's managing to be passive on the map, and Toxic slowly trying to cut him off here and there, but his early attempts have not really yielded all that much. You can see Fazz actually going a bit unknown to Toxic and able to actually pick up a rail connection because of it, but that's only mere 80 damage, and we saw him just pick up some bubbles, YA. So Toxic still the beast, he's the juggernaut, and he goes into Fazz again with the LG, but
Whoa.
Fazz picks up the kill with absolutely perfect rockets, and he's going to get the red armor as well. In comes the pressure, good rail, and Fazz finishes him off. That is fantastic there from Fazz.
That was totally unexpected for me. Was not seeing that happen, but that first air rocket, which secured him the first frag, absolutely brilliant. Let's see if he can continue this. He's going to rocket Tox towards him, and he picks up the follow-ups. Brilliant. And now it's going to be Mega. He should be able to run over to the red again straight away. I wonder if Tox is going to put pressure on this, trying to interrupt. He is! He manages to get the red, but we've got 2 rails from Fazz. He's got the key, so he knows exactly where Tox is, and he lands the next one. 4-4, and this game has just gotten extremely close. Just when Tox looked like he was absolutely dominating, Fazz makes a blinding comeback.
Yeah, it's not over yet, though. We've got only 65 armor left on Fazz at the moment. Weapons can be an issue here for Toxic, but he's got a railgun. That's all he needs in this position. Oh, and Fazz is stuck in a really horrible place, trying to shoulder peek his way into safety. Just bait out some shots. Oh, he's going to knock him into the lava just for a moment. So Fazz trying to get away. 1 rail will kill him. Making his way to the Mega, and he gets it. Gets a touchdown there onto the Mega, and he will be safe for now.
We are seeing some nice aim from Fazz at the moment. I was hoping we would, and he's delivering at the moment. Up against Tox of all players. Let's see how we can continue things now. This red armor is going to be up. Well, it's up right now. Both players are aware of each other's positions, but let's see who can be successful in these negotiations for the red armor. That rail, though, for Tox, I think he's won.
Yeah, this definitely going to be a hard time for Fazz to get back into this right now, because Tox could push him off of a lot of these major items in the next minute or so, and he goes already to try to get some damage. Very key damage from Toxic. This is going to really stop Fazz from going for challenges at all, and he's just trying to get away from Toxic. He doesn't even care about the red spawning, and Toxic's going in. He wants to finish off Fazz. He knows how weak he is, but he also doesn't want to be caught out of position on these major items, so he's going to back away, and Fazz has some breathing room, but will he get any items? It's fairly unlikely.
1 minute warning.
Little rail, not sure how much that's going to matter just at the moment. The lower yellow is up. Tox is expecting Fazz to take, but he simply isn't. Fazz is playing even more defensive than one would expect. With 45 seconds to go, I haven't looked at the clock of the entire game. We are getting awfully close to possible overtime over here. If you don't know how it works, it adds 2 minutes to the clock. And if the victor, or if someone is getting more frags during that time, then the game will end. Otherwise, more overtimes can be added.
All right, so right now Fazz wants that overtime for sure, and it's going to be so he's going to be playing for it, so he can play for the extra time to give himself more opportunities to win this one. Whereas Toxic wants to close this right now. He's trying to creep up on Fazz. He's letting all the items spawn because he wants to try and just catch Fazz off guard, and he might just do that. He finds Fazz, but Fazz is going to be up and away. However, oh, he does have the key actually as well. So yeah, he's going to get himself out of there. If he didn't have the key, it could be very different.
Yeah, it's definitely easing things up when he was out of control on the items. He's still able to move around the map a bit better. 200, 100 though, he's not looking so bad. And in overtime at the moment, 2 minutes for them to settle things. Otherwise, as I mentioned before, another 2 minutes will be added, and so on and so forth. Most overtimes we've seen in a competitive game has been 10 overtimes. I think it's happened maybe twice in the course of competitive Quake Live history. And Elder's definitely a type of map where a lot of overtimes could happen. This is a slow-paced map. Really got to think very carefully how you're going to move around sometimes, especially if you're out of control, especially if you don't have the key. Can make things very difficult, but Tox dismounts from the red armor and takes a lot of LG damage and is actually going to kill himself. Fazz is going to have the lead. We've got 1 minute and 10 seconds to go, and it's looking good for him.
That's so perfect. Getting the frag just at the moment that the Mega's spawning and being right next to it. That's so safe there for Fazz. And Toxic struggling a bit with the movement, but he's going to turn that into a rail shot that will connect onto Fazz. And it's not going to matter too much because Toxic's got to come to him right now. Fazz is going to be really careful he doesn't get in over his head. And Toxic will steal away the red armor as Fazz felt that his positioning was too risky, could have actually died. And Toxic could put on the assault now. And it could happen if he gets a good connection. He's running out of time.
He's just run, run, run. I don't want to be a part of this.
Oh, no!
Oh, the rockets are so good, though, keeping Tox at bay. Could we switch over to Tox, please, Mr. Producer, and see what he's able to do in these dying moments of map number 1. There is a Mega up at the moment. It's just been taken by Fazz. 1 rail has been landed. Tox has got the rockets to get up to red. Oh, no! Sacrificing this health is just so difficult now. Health bubbles are helping him out, but there's only 12 seconds to go, and Tox is messing up his jumps even more. This is going to make it impossible, I think, to make the comeback. His rocket jump does work, but he's going to meet Fazz's rocket instead. That is 5-3 for Fazz, as he gives himself a one-map advantage.
There was such a funny situation there, like 30 seconds left.
The aim is just insane. Sorry, as you were saying.
Yeah, no, so 30 seconds left into the first overtime, and Fazz is running away. He's got 2 frags up. And basically he did like more or less like the worst possible thing you could possibly do in that position. I'm going to go up the jump pad against Toxic and just then he gets the rocket, so then he is actually able to avoid getting completely nailed by the LG. So really close. But what an awesome comeback.
The only way you really come back. I wasn't expecting it. Toxic, the way he got 4-0 was so convincing. I was like, how can you even continue playing if you're his opponent? But I think Tox maybe felt a little bit too comfortable and allowed Fazz to find the cracks in his armor. Yeah,
there's just that one engagement around the red where Fazz found like 3 direct rockets straight away, and he should never have won that fight. That's like not going to happen very consistently. But he managed to make it work, and then the Mega was spawning from. He already knew the rotation. But we're into the next map, guys. We have Blood Run. It is the second map. Fazz is already up 1. Can he just close it out?
Oh my god, the LG damage is just ridiculous. Gonna find a tiny bit as Fazz jumps over his head. This is gonna be a Tox's map pick. I know there have been some questions in chat from players maybe not familiar with the game. The red armor, it gives you 100 armor. The yellow gives you 50 armor. And the Mega Health gives you 100 health, for those that were wondering. And Fazz, you might be in a bit of trouble now. The LG, just absolutely ridiculous tracking. It's going to be Tox taking first blood once again. Finds him off the spawn, but he seems to be pretty keen on just taking the items. Oh, and he picks him off anyway, right between the eyes. That is 2-0. What? And another rail. Where are these coming from?
Yeah, Toxic's entering beast mode at the moment.
Yeah.
His tracking aim is astoundingly good, and his flick aim is astoundingly good. His everything aim is ridiculous, and we're already seeing it at the moment. 100% railgun, 45% LG. That is pretty unstoppable. We were talking about this earlier. I think was it Cooler or no? It was Noctis against clawz. Sometimes players would just get a start like this on a map like this.
Yeah, and you've got to slow things down. You've got to make them forget that it happened. I think Fazz just kind of needs to disappear off the map for a while. He is hitting some impressive rails himself, but Tox just continues to do so. Still 100%. Little combo kill there. That's 4 impressive. He's hit 8 rails in a row now.
Oh my god.
I don't want to curse it or anything. It's horrible, and I'm sure he'll miss the next rail now. But that is still staggering.
Yeah, again, the Fazz can absolutely come back into this one just the same as before. He has even more time to do it, but the thing is, it's Blood Run, so it's very easy to slow it down. It's very easy for Toxic to play defensively off of this. But he is definitely feeling himself right now. He's having a very good string of rail connections, and he's got full control of the map as well. So Fazz...
I just realized he hasn't even got the rocket launcher yet.
Doesn't need it. Does not need it, to be honest.
Hadn't even paid attention to that. I just assumed he'd have all the weapons by now. The LG comes out again. And the camera flies out too. But Tox still, I think he needs to restabilize it a little bit, but he should still have control.
This is pretty impressive here from Fazz. He's managing to hold on here. He can give himself an in back into the game if he's able to steal away one of these items. And to do that against a player that's hitting 100% rail at 45 LG is actually ridiculously hard. It's very rage worthy playing against someone like how Toxic is playing right now. But Fazz is holding on. His focus is very strong, it would seem, as he's got Toxic quite low. He's only going to steal away the Mega. So Fazz is definitely back in this, but he needs to be able to win this next battle over the red, or at least do significant damage to buy him time to get a yellow into the next Mega pickup.
Yeah, if he could delay Tox there for a few seconds, that would be fantastic, to be honest. But I don't know if he can even show his face anywhere. Tox is just everywhere at the moment. Oh, Fazz is watching him, but Tox hits another. That's 10 in a row now. Tox still hasn't missed a rail.
Oh my god, this is disgusting.
Oh, that was Fazz firing at him over there. Tox looking for one more. Oh, he finally misses a rail. After 10 rails hit consecutively, he misses. He is human, maybe.
No, it's like programmed to be the humanized robot. Like, humans are not perfect, they're fallible. You gotta miss one every 10 shots.
Oh, well, you jinxed it now. I don't know how he hit that, but good job. Good job, Tox.
Alright. Oh, almost landing straight on the grenade there.
Just drop on him with LG or something.
Yeah, he wants to just get the perfect rails. He knows he's hitting everything right now. He's just going to push for it more and more as he goes for the engagement. He's got Fazz trapped in this little corner. There's no escape unless Toxic allows for the escape, and he is going to do that in favor of continuing the rotation.
I think that's a good idea to make sure you get the items and he's not leaving everything up. So even if he does get the kill, then Fazz would spawn next to an item, for instance. So right now he's limited Fazz to a yellow armor and taking the rest himself. It's pretty safe play, and I think worth it because Fazz has shown that he can make very sudden comebacks into a map when he hits his shots. I think at some point when we've got an opportunity, we really should explain a bit more about Tox's config. Because I think a lot of people, especially, it's something that probably isn't in the CS community, the way that he binds his keys.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually. I do know the person to ask, but
I know. I thought you knew. I'll bring it up in a bit. But Tox is just continuing this control almost effortlessly. He's gonna find Fazz is in the spot really where it's like, okay, there's no escape at this point. Tox is gonna look for a little bit of a spawn frag, finds him and hits that rail somehow. He's hoping that Fazz is going to double back in, but I think Tox may have made a bit too much noise. Unless Fazz, yeah, he has the higher ground, which is good for him.
Yeah, so red up at the moment, and Mega spawning. Fazz is trying to put the pressure on, but he can't connect the damage, so he's invested a lot in getting these shots, but he's going to miss everything. Oh. Toxic, once again, is just going to nail him to the wall and pick up all the items as well. So every play Fazz is trying to make to get it back in, all the pressure, all the delays, none of it's working out at the moment. Toxic is just everlasting with his incredible aim at the moment, and, well, it's hard to deal with. Just continues to hit.
It's just amazing that he's still hitting so many rails.
What do you do against this? This is really...
I don't know. I think you press forfeit in console and then
actually
play the next map.
Actually, that is probably better because you actually kind of rages someone when they get on like a roll. And they feel like they're just hitting everything. They wanna like experience that because it's such a good feeling. Yeah. So if you do actually forfeit, you can kind of impact their performance in the next map.
No, absolutely. Then maybe he's hoping that it would interrupt like Tox's momentum at the moment because he's going into full Tox mode. I really want to look at the scoreboard just to see 18 out of 23 rails. His control, not a single mega yet for Fazz. He's had 3 reds, no megas, almost 6.5 minutes into this.
Yeah, it's really good control from Toxic. His damage output is just too great as well, and so that's just limits your ability to get onto the major items. So this is very hard to deal with, and Fazz is trying to outsmart him. He's trying to outplay him and so on, but it's very hard. It's very hard in this kind of a spot.
It's not that Fazz is even making terrible moves, but you kind of make these moves under the assumption that a player against you is going to hit 50% or less rail, so that you're not taking damage constantly, and that you're able to sneak around these corners and get away and maybe play on the yellows. But even if Fazz shows a pixel for a few frames, he's still getting hit by Tox, and it makes playing that defensive game even harder. Finally, Fazz actually manages to counter that. Honestly, was not expecting a frag anytime soon.
Yeah, Toxic had to pull out the rockets, and he hesitated. It's like, I've not used this in a while. I'm not sure what I'm doing right now. And then Fazz he got into bad weapon selections, and Fazz capitalized. So now it's Fazz trying to do something, but these rails just are incessant, one after another. That's 3 in a row after Fazz picked up armor. He's like, yeah, I'm in control. Oh, right. This again.
I'm trying to imagine the kind of things that Fazz is screaming at his monitor at the moment. Because that is extremely stressful. And Tox finds another.
Wrecked.
What? How? 82% he's still holding. That's almost 30 rails fired, I'm pretty sure.
It's fired a lot of rails. Stop ruining your percentages. Please stop shooting.
Yeah, I can't handle it now. Just keep it to the end of the game now. You've done a great job. He's looking. I think he's obsessed. He wants to hit more. Throwing the plasma in, that mega's not up for a few more seconds, so he should be able to push. He should be able to push Fazz away. Fazz will get the mega health in the end. That shouldn't have happened, but I guess at this point in the game, it doesn't really matter too much.
I guess Toxic's first ban was Lost World.
It must have been.
The only map with no railgun. Surely it must be.
But no, the LG then. His LG is sensational, so
that's very true.
I don't actually know. But Blood Run is definitely one of his better maps.
Yeah.
If not his best map. So I think anyone at Quakecon who might be going up against Tox is definitely going to think about removing that. Although I think it's best of 5 everywhere, so maybe not.
He's pretty scary everywhere because he knows how to duel, and his aim is just so ridiculous. And it's not just his rail, as we're seeing now. As Zoot mentioned, his LG is so strong. If you're trying to attack into him, he's insanely strong at holding choke points down. It's really ridiculous, to be honest. It's very hard to play against.
You're looking at the best aimer in the world here on Quake.
Yeah.
So it's, arguably in any game, but I think that's much harder to compare. I want to try and make you guys understand his controls as well. So if you imagine you're moving forward with left click, you're moving backwards with right click, and you move left with X and right with C.
Yeah.
That is Tox's controls.
He shoots with spacebar,
I think it's spacebar. Is either spacebar or alt? It might be alt.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's alt actually. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, it's so weird.
So try to picture that and try to even get used to it, like the idea of that being a possibility of how you would move in a game.
It's so weird.
I tested out his config once, and I felt seasick after about 5 minutes of using it.
I remember trying it
felt nauseous.
In Quake 4 and also the early days of Quake 3, and it's the same. It's exactly the same setup that he used, and it's always been so weird. It's very hard to use. But it makes a lot of sense with the...
Look at the 29 out of 37, that is just...
That's absurd.
Unbelievable.
That's absurd. And Fazz throughout, they're well played. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense with the with using the keyboard to shoot, because in that sense you're not putting any pressure on the mouse, because when you're of course pressing mouse 1, you're putting pressure on it when you're shooting, but not when you're normally moving. So it does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But
Noctis
also
uses spacebar when he's shooting, so...
Oh yeah. I remember him switching a few years ago. Yeah, I think it was a few years ago. I'm sure you'll correct me if I'm wrong.
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
But another cool thing is that just generally I think Toxic's always used the ice mat. I used the ice mat in 2004 to 2009, and it's really, really good. I have my best aim when I was using it. It's very low friction. It's a glass pad, but you have to clean it after every use. You've got to put something over it. You've got to change your Teflon feet. If you're playing a lot, every couple of weeks to a month, you've got to change all your Teflon feet, and it makes a really loud sound. I mean, if it's hot or something, you can sweat on your palms a little bit. You can get, if there's grit on the pad, then it's going to be scraping. It's just, it makes loads of noise. It's very cold and uncomfortable.
If you like eating
but
food
you can
at
aim
your
like
desk,
a god.
don't use it. Yeah.
That's
I
the
think Lincoln
thing.
used it as well, the ice mat, but it's
worth it. It's worth all those horrendous negatives if you're playing professionally, I think. And you like low friction. It's really good, but it's very small. And these days, everyone has arm on desk, so it's a bit too small. But we're into the game.
Yeah, we have actually started already here on Lost World. We're on Tox's point of view. I'm seeing some reactions in chat to those controls, like, what the hell? Is that even a way to play? But if you don't know, Tox has been around for, well, many, many years now. He is a legend
Quake
in
2,
Quake 4 as well, and it's awesome to have him still playing alongside of the other guys who got in the tournament. Well, this isn't a terrible start for Tox, having all the weapons. And a decent amount of armor right now, and I wonder Fazz is going to be relieved not to be going up against a rail, but the algae is still mighty. Tox is going to find Fazz in the center of the map. Fazz, you don't have an escape route here, but look at the way that Fazz is dealing with that pressure. Very impressive, forcing Tox away. Don't think Tox was expecting that to happen.
What are the stats there on that Fazz fight? Because it looked like, how much damage did Fazz do?
51% for Fazz, 50% for Tox.
Yeah, so he actually matched Toxic at that. That's really, really sick, because Toxic did sick damage there, and Fazz was slightly outstacking him. And here is the battle over the Mega as well. Fazz needs to come out huge here. He's going to get the rockets in, but the Mega does go to Toxic.
Whoa.
Another sick rocket there, straight through the choke point into... Oh, with that shotgun there. That is Fazz without any legs. And that's 1-0 there, first blood for Toxic. So that's a pretty sick start. And he's going to get the 50 as well, so he's looking healthy again.
That was a great read from Tox as well. I think Fazz maybe should have just broken away from that fight. Sure, Tox is going to get red and it's annoying, but you just need to get out of there and re-establish yourself elsewhere on the map. I think, yeah, maybe a bit overexcited there.
Toxic's tracking aim is just ridiculous. It's so good.
But I gotta say, for that first fight, I'm definitely impressed by Fazz, and I think he's going to be able to hold his own on this map. Tox definitely hasn't got it as easy here in Blood Run.
Yeah, there's actually a couple elements to talk about aim-wise, but we're going to have a Fazz actually repositioning himself through Toxic with the just sheer brute force of the shotgun. That's really nice. And that's 100 damage straight away. So now he's actually pinned Toxic just for the moment. And he might force the drop, actually. Yeah, I think he did. There was no red pickup from Toxic there. Good LG from Fazz is actually going to keep the red armor up and alive for him. And that might enable him to pressure into the Mega Health as well, so that it's not a free pickup for Toxic. In fact, Toxic won't even get a look in. So this is all because of that LG just making Tox on the drop miss the red. Now he's missed the Mega. Now he's missed control. Now he's missed center map. And Fazz has everything. So it's a really big deal.
A brilliant chance now for Fazz to get back in this, but can he corner Tox? Can he find him in a vulnerable position for even even half a second? And that would give him the chance to maybe get that first rocket bouncing around and look for the frag. But it's so hard to put yourself in that position against the pro tier that we're witnessing here.
So another Mega pickup there for Fazz, so he's looking for blood at the moment. He wants to find the window of opportunity to get an attack in, whilst Toxic continues to... He's not really harassed on the yellow side of the map, so he's actually been able to pick up a few. So he should be around 100, 150 armor, and he's playing for the red at the moment, I think. Or is he above? Okay, no, actually, he wasn't playing for the red exactly. Fazz will steal that one away. And Toxic will make his way back towards the yellows and the shards. So yeah, it was around 150, gets the shards. Now he can actually take a fight. Usually you want to try to drop into the Mega, make a Mega play, because then you can use the rockets really well, and your stack disadvantage is not too great, but he has insane LG, and he's going to put it to use right now against Fazz in the center map again. And he forces Fazz away. He was definitely outstacking Toxic then.
Toxic isn't going for any of the major items though. Is he going to jump down for red? Nope, Fazz is going to be able to go down there. He's making sure he doesn't get hit by rockets. Red and Mega will spawn at exactly the same time next time round. And Fazz is actually able to escape pretty cleanly, so well played by him. And again, I want to reiterate to new viewers, the players in the game can't see the item timers. However, obviously, as spectators, we're able to. So they have to do all their calculations on the fly, with Mega spawning every 35 seconds once you've taken it, and yellow and red every 25.
Absolutely, it's a lot of getting used to. It takes quite a while for a lot of players to do it by instinct. Keep those times in your heads and understand the rotations and the patterns.
Well, that's not what you want to focus on as well. When you get to that top tier, you need to think a lot about your opponent as well, but also have those timings at the back of your head anyway to fall back on. So it's crazy the amount of things they have to be thinking of at the same time in this game.
There's a lot of stuff going on here, and Toxic, he's still been basically content with his 1-0 lead. He wants Fazz to actually make a mistake and overcommit into him, because again, we can see that, you know, as you mentioned, he's not going for these big items. He wants Fazz to pick them up, and he wants Fazz to run into his ridiculous LG, which has actually happened already at once or twice, and we've seen that Fazz that takes Fazz out, you know, basically knocks the wind out of him for like 30 seconds to a minute whilst he picks everything up again. And now Fazz is trying to catch Toxic out. He doesn't want to overcommit because he knows that he's afraid of what Toxic is playing for, which is that defensive frag against the push. And this is perfect for Fazz. He's going to catch Toxic. There's some good damage. And the problem is now he needs to keep the pressure on. He needs to take these items, and he needs to take the fight straight away to Toxic if he can. He's
going for items though. He's falling back. He's looking for reliability or just general stability in his play.
He's got to go for it now.
With 4 minutes to go, I guess this is a possibility to do that, but you know, when you lose these opportunities, you just find that time is being eaten away, and he might find himself eventually losing control as he's not able to make that same play happen again.
So he just gambled his window of time towards the Shaz area. So it's hard to know, and sometimes you have to just go for the gambles. And this time it didn't work out for him. And Toxic's got position. He's causing issues for Fazz because he was not able to get that pressure in. And now Toxic's in position, trying to just harass Fazz away from the Mega, away from the red. Fazz has to make a hard choice now, and that is to give Toxic the Mega health. And he's going to be actually rocket jumping up after picking up that red, but he needs again to find a way to get something done here. But he does have 3 minutes and a half left, so the time is still not too much of an issue.
Is Tox just happy then with a 1-frag lead? I mean, it feels like it, doesn't it?
So far, he's basically playing a spell where he's not taking a single risk, and if Fazz attacks him, then Fazz takes a huge amount of damage, way more than his stack can take, even though he has more stack. And that's the strategy here from Toxic.
Tox not looking too bad. With this red, he's going to be able to turn things around in the next fight. Fazz has got to be really careful. And I'm worried that because he tried to stabilize earlier, maybe that window of opportunity you're talking about is just being closed, shut, and locked. Fazz is going to have to do some pretty impressive things in order to get another one.
Yeah, that's another yellow picked up by Toxic. He is well and truly stacked. He can start thinking about taking a fight, but also he can try to play it even slower if he wants and force a mistake from Fazz, because eventually Fazz is just going to get caught going for something. He's being starved out right now. Toxic's playing the war of attrition, slowly dealing damage. Fazz has to do something, but now Fazz has no control again. So this is a really awkward spot for Fazz, to be honest. Really awkward.
Can we go over to Fazz's point of view, please, Mr. Producer? Thank you, sir. I've seen the face, by the way. I know what he looks like.
He's our best kept secret here at FACEIT TV.
Fazz is still going to have to do something. It's nice that he's got the 100-200, but you know, a mega fight, a 1 mega will change a lot for Fazz, but he's running out of time to do things like that, and he doesn't want to go through the choke point. He's still waiting for that chance. He also needs a rocket launcher, and as I said earlier, getting that ammo box with only 5 rockets isn't what you want. You want to get the full combo here. 10 extra rockets. Is he going to drop for the red? I think he might take that risk.
And time is starting to run out here for Fazz, but he's at least getting himself back onto the map. But the lack of the Mega is really painful. He might want to try to take the fight on the next Mega, because if he can grab that in the middle of the fight, then he kind of has an effectively a larger stack to play with. But it's really awkward in this area, so it's very hard. He needs to catch Toxic unawares, and he's going for that right now. He's trying to catch him moving towards the Mega, but Toxic came from below, so that didn't work out. And he's starting to run out of opportunities to turn this one around.
1 minute.
Fazz had to make a play on that Mega, I think. Or at least like steal it and hope not to take much damage, or to do obviously damage to Tox.
This is really bad. He can't take damage here at all. He needs every bit of his stack to fight with. So Toxic is. Look at how Toxic is playing. This is classic Toxic right now. This is why he's so scary in Duel. Is because he's forcing you to make plays all the time, and he keeps playing insanely safe himself.
Alright, it's got to be this Mega and then go. It's 30 seconds now, Fazz. Alright, what are you going to do, mate? Where the hell is Tox fighting? Well, the rockets will lead him on a certain path. Tox is moving out of the LG. He's done a lot of damage, removed almost half of Fazz's stack at this point. Tox backing off though. 15 seconds, Fazz. Come on, you've got to have a bit more of a sense of urgency than this.
He's trying to pick his moment here, and he's going to go for it. But Toxic, he's playing this perfectly. He can just run away whenever he needs to. He just runs around the corner now, backing away with the LG, and there shouldn't be anything that Fazz can do here. Toxic has played this one frag lead almost to perfection.
Wow, the 1-0 lead as well is what we're going to get, and it's what it's going to end on. Tox is going to take the series. There was a lot of items that were taken by Fazz. It's not like he had a shortage of control or anything, but Tox got the 1-0, and he's like, yeah, that'll do. It's fine.
It's his lightning gun is so scarily consistent in the top level, because the thing is that sometimes if you have the right angle with the lightning gun, depending on where they're standing, like the architecture, like where they have to stand not to fall off, or how they have to move out of the fight, and you know that they're trying to move out of the fight, you can get like really good LG because you know where they're going to move basically. Whereas Toxic's aim is like raw is so good, doesn't matter the situation, he always hits insane amounts. So he seems to just constantly beat Fazz down. He knows how his strengths, and he played them so well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
really good stuff.
That's like a absolutely stereotypical Lost World, isn't it? We do often talk about this. This could just be a 1-0 game, you know, and it was it, wasn't it? We had exactly what the most kind of common expectations are, one of the stereotypes that people often laugh at Lost World for being, but it was quite exciting. Although, you know, that opportunity when there's 4 minutes to go, Fazz didn't take it, and we were thinking, that might be the last chance, mate, and it was basically. So unlucky, although I'm glad that Fazz has got a good game going on at the moment. It definitely doesn't look clear cut who's going to be going through yet.
I mean, Fazz took a lot of gambles, which like nothing happened from them. But if Toxic would have chosen the route that he was trying to trap, then maybe the game could be very different. So but he did have a lot of opportunities. So I'm very curious, because he might be able to still top this group. It's still get top 2 in the group, so it's still very possible. Very open group. We have Cypher and Sparty next, which is another classic. They usually have excellent games, these two guys. So really looking forward to that one. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with Cypher and Sparty.